Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Nicole Russo. Welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Stonestreet. Let's throw up the field for our Saturday Spa Baby race. It's the Grade 2 Saratoga Special. $200,000 is the purse. We're going 6.5 furlongs on the dirt. Stonestreet sent out Cantharos to win this race about 14 years ago.
Oh my gosh, I wish you hadn't said how many years ago. We were just talking about how old I feel lately, Dan, but you want to go back even further. Cantharos has turned into a wonderful stallion for Stonestreet and his other supporters, but Stonestreet's color bearer, Curlin, really emerging as a wonderful sire of sires, and a couple of his sons represented in this race.
Very talented horses in the Saratoga Special. And we'll start things off with a number one, Smoken Wicked, a $38,000 yearling by Bobby's Wicked One, who is a very fast sprinter in his day. And as you see, this female family full of good sprinters and precocious ones as well. This one was a debut winner at Evangeline Downs, and then last time out in the Bashford Manor, didn't have a great trip and rallied for second. I think with a better start, he's going to show speed. Tell us a little bit about Bobby's Wicked One.
Bobby's Wicked One, as you said, a very fast horse, but then you look at his pedigree, and he's from the immediate female family of Turf Champion and Stamina Source English Channel. So I'll be looking forward to see, kind of how his horses develop, what some of them want to do, because every horse is an individual. Now, Bobby's Wicked One, we haven't seen much from yet because he stands in Louisiana. He won't have the sheer numbers to make as much of an impact on the national list as far as some of these, Kentucky-based freshmen will. So you'll have to look at his percentages. And Smoken Wicked, his only winner from just 2 starters to date, made a nice step up, as you said, from 4.5 furlongs state-bred company to the deeper waters of the Bashford Manor. And you can look at that race one of two ways. Yes, on one hand, the race fell apart pace-wise and he picked up some pieces. But on the other hand, he ran on well to pick up the pieces despite getting in some trouble and did move forward from his debut.
Allegaffleone aboard for Dallas Stewart. The number two is Showcase for Todd Pletcher or Rador Tees. Here's his career debut. He's in against some other first-time starters, but he looked strong in here, prompting the pace, taking over the lead, and just going about his business. A really nice effort for Showcase first time out. He was odds on for Pletcher and Irad that day, and this is a really strong family.
Wonderful family. One of a couple of colts in here for Uncle Mo, a champion 2-year-old himself who is so good with his 2-year-olds. And then this is his, not only was his dam a 2-year-old stakes winning sprinter, but she's from the family of grade 1 winning sprinters, Lady Tack and Volatile.
Yeah, really strong family, especially for speed. Showcase a half to Bourbon Bash, multiple stakes placed 2-year-old sprinter. Global Legend is the number three, going out for Mark Cassie. This is the debut try way back in early June. As you can see, it's a very sloppy track at Gulfstream Park, but Global Legend showed speed and keeps about his task very nicely. Now he's going to have to step up. This race was restricted to Florida breds, but it's nice to know he handles wet footing.
Absolutely. And, we could get that this weekend. And he was so interesting to me because Global Campaign was at his best going a route of ground as an older horse. And I wouldn't have expected this horse necessarily to win at 4.5 furlongs first time out. And this one did. Adding more ground shouldn't be a problem. Global Campaign just bred to be a sire. One of those sons of Curlin that we mentioned. Curlin's sons at stud include the likes of Good Magic, off to such a good start. And Global Campaign is also a half brother on the female side to Bolt Doro, who's the leading freshman a couple of years ago.
And that's already been a live race at Gulfstream Park. Two of the horses Global Legend beat came back to graduate in their next start. One at a stake with a 72 Beyer speed figure. First Resort is up next. This is a Godolphin homebred going out for Owen Hardy. Flavian Pratt takes them out. Another one by Uncle Mo. This dam was a very good runner, fair maiden, a grade 1 stakes winning sprinter. First Resort took money for the debut, took pace pressure, kept right on going, and has been working quickly over the synthetic, and maybe that gives him a little bit of foundation as he stretches out a furlong.
I think so. And another one who showed good foot over a wet track that could come into play this weekend. The other Uncle Mo in the field, and another one where just speed and precocity and class in the family with that grade 1 winning sprint dam.
Touchy, the number 5, was all the rage for his career debut. He was bet down to odds on in the Tremont during the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival. This sizable colt showed some good early speed for Wesley Ward. He remained well off of the rail, and now he's going to be maneuvered down towards the inside to maybe intimidate Three Echoes just a little bit. Well, we'll get the better of Three Echoes, but Studley Do-Right's going to get the better of Touchy in the final 100 yards. All in all, a good effort for a Nyquist colt from the female family of Kentucky Oaks winner Summerlee.
Yeah, and the Tremont has come back as a good race. The winner, Studley Do Right, second in the Sanford to Moplex, who we'll hope to see in the hopeful. Third place, Three Echoes, also came back to be third in the Sanford. Touchy by Nyquist, a son of the aforementioned Uncle Mo, and Nyquist has followed in his father's footsteps, a 2-year-old champion, then a leading freshman sire, and a good 2-year-old sire.
Joel Rosario retains the mount. Some bullet workouts since his last race. Blinkers off. The 6 is Aceit. Let's watch his most recent start. He's very experienced. This is already race number 4 for Aceit, and this is back in early June. Now, he needed a drop in class to a maiden claimer at Laurel Park. He went to the lead. He looks like he might be in a little bit of hot water, but he's going to gamely see this out. The third-place finisher came back to run second in a maiden special at Thistledown before graduating for the waiver at Delaware.
Yeah, and that was his most recent outing. I think maybe one of his better efforts in terms of class came when he was third to the aforementioned Studley Do Right in a maiden in May. Big step up in class here for another grandson of Curlin, but if you believe experience counts, well, he has it in spades.
Louis Saez aboard for James Chapman. Here's the 7 Noble Force debuting at Monmouth Park, going 5/8 of a mile. Another horse that showed very good speed this day, shrugged off his pace rival and really looks good. In the final 16th of a mile, he pours it on here, winning by open lengths, but only with a 50 Beyer speed figure. I think he certainly has scope for an improvement, but it's a big step up in class and distance.
Yes, but the interesting thing about this horse to me is Cairo Prince can get them on either dirt or turf. Uh, Biofuel, who you see in the immediate family there, Canadian Horse of the Year, a few other Canadian champions in this terrific Airdrie family. The page says turf to me. Did win on a fast track in his debut, but if it's wet on Saturday at Saratoga, sometimes turf pedigrees and turf build can translate well to a wet track with how the horse moves, the shape of the foot, and perhaps Noble Force could be a bit of a force if the weather comes up lousy on Saturday.
Ricardo Santana Jr. rides for Jorge Delgado. The 8 is Good Directions. This one was a debut winner at Presque Isle Downs over their synthetic surface. The $20,000 2-year-old purchase then made his dirt debut at Ellis Park against allowance foes. Ran pretty well to be second. He didn't break very good in that race at all, but that was a nice little rally, and he should get some hot fractions to attack. While his Beyer speed figures are a little bit light, it's nice to know he's bred for extra distance and he's comfortable passing horses.
Yes, and while that Beyer is a little light, I like that he translated his form from synthetic to the dirt with no regression at all in the Beyer. And as you noted, he did stumble at the start of that Ellis race, certainly eligible to improve with a better break.
Keep It Easy is the number 9. He completes this field, and he's a $435,000 son of Hard Spun. Showed much improved early speed. Second time out at Churchill Downs, blasted right to the front, Nicole, and kept on going. A nice effort to be sure, and that Beyer speed figure, 79, very strong.
Yeah, a big move forward from his first start to his second start, obviously learned from his debut experience. He seems to like Saratoga with some very strong works locally. As always, encourage you to check out the Clocker Report produced by our colleague Mike Welsh and his team, getting eyes on these horses every morning in Saratoga and not just telling you that they're working fast, but how they're working fast.
And Keep It Easy goes out for trainer Dale Romans. We have a formulator fact. 2-year-old maiden winner last time. That's a big number on dirt. 26%, $4.66 return on investment. Let's take a look at our top picks for the Saratoga Special. We're both going with Touchy. 2-year-old barn likes to win races. This horse has a strong pedigree, showed good speed, and ran really well in his debut. And I think from that experience, he was a little bit green. I'm expecting a much more focused individual on Saturday.
I think he can be more focused on Saturday. And I also think horses learn from every race, and he was in deep waters in his debuting in a stake, which, yes, Wesley Ward is one of those people who's not afraid to do that. But I think if a horse can learn off a race like that, where he was in such deep waters, as we said, its comeback is a good race, then he could really loom large in here.
5391 for Nicole, 5941 for me, and the Saratoga Special. It's our Saturday Spa Baby event, and we're presented by Stonestreet.